So I'm sure you all are familiar with the assembly line concept, where like if you work at a factory and there's like you have a certain job to do some certain thing very specific, and this thing comes to you from someplace, another person that did something else, and then this thing comes over to you, and then you do one little thing, you put on a screw or something like that, and then you move the thing on to the next station, and that's all you know. You don't know anything else about what happened before or what happens afterwards. You just know your one job, and I'm sure, that's not a very exciting job, but I know a lot of people do those kind of jobs. So that leads me to this project I'm working on today. So this is just a one-time job. I'm not going to do this over and over, I don't think. But somebody I know, a friend of mine, asked me to help him with this project, and he didn't give me a lot of detail. He just said, I need you to take these balls that I got here. These are cast iron hollow balls, and different sizes, as you can see. And what he wants me to do is figure out how to attach one of these rings here to each one of these balls. So I'm going to do something where I can somehow attach this to this ball. And he didn't explain a whole lot about what he's going to do with these things after I give them to him. So, and I'll probably find out eventually, but right now, the way it is, I don't know much about it. All I know is he gave me these things to work with, and I got to figure out how to get it done. So that's what I'm going to work on. I thought I'd share this with you, so while I work on it, you can see what I do, and maybe it'll be fun to watch. So stay tuned. Thanks. So my first task was to figure out how to place this ring on the ball, see how it's going to fit up and everything. So I quickly realized that I'm going to have to do some forming of the metal plate to match the contour of the ball. So what I did is I took out my trusty vice grips and my long nose pliers, or my long jaw pliers, and I just started doing a little bit of forming and just kind of test fitting everything and trying to make it all match up as best I could. And it wasn't really too bad of a process. I just had to kind of be patient and just kind of feel it go by feel, and eventually I got it. And once I had that done, I just took the plate, the metal plate, and repositioned it, and just used a marker to put marks on the ball to tell me where I need to drill my holes. But that's when I encountered my next challenge, and that was the fact that this ball is round, of course, and when I set it on the drill press, it just didn't feel very stable for drilling. So I had to take a step back, and I decided to make a little platform for the ball to keep it steady, so whenever I'm working on it, drilling into it and so forth, it'll sit still. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm taking a board and I'm cutting a shape into it to match the shape of the ball. So after I created that round opening in that board, I took a chamfer router bit and I ran it over the inside edge of that opening so that when I put the ball in there, it'll have a nice kind of a flat surface to sit against instead of that sharp edge of the opening. And so you can see here how the ball sits nicely in there. However, the ball also protrudes past the bottom of the board, so it still doesn't sit flat. So that's where I decided to make little risers and use those to support the board so that the bottom of the ball will have some room to clear the table underneath it. And that worked out really nicely. So finally, we're able to get down to the business of drilling some holes into this ball. And I decided to use some tapping oil, cutting oil, just to help. I'm not really used to drilling holes into balls, so wasn't sure how it was going to go. And, better safe than sorry, right? Well, it ended up being really easy to drill into that cast iron ball, actually. And next it was on to tapping threads into those holes I just drilled.
So I got my tap ready, and I used this drill guide that I have because I wanted to make sure the tap went in straight. I've had some bad luck with taps in the past where I would try to start it without doing anything to guide it, and it would end up going in crooked, and then I just had a lot of problems. So that little guide actually turned out to be really handy. Okay, so here I've got all 4 holes tapped, and I'm ready to attach the plate. So I've got the plate all positioned. I'm starting to put a screw in. So I got the first screw going, and in a second I got the second screw going. And that's where I got a new challenge. That curvature of the ball is just not so easy to match up to another part. And so even though I thought I had everything all lined up, that third screw just would not go in. But that problem was easy enough to solve. I just drilled the holes out a little bit by about a 32nd of an inch, I think, and that was enough to make the screws fit after all. And here's our first completed ball and ring assembly. And now I'm on to the next size ball. This one's very close to the other size, and really the same idea. Just mark it, drill it, tap it, attach the ring, bada bing, bada boom. I got the hang of it by this point. Alright, now it's on to the big one. This one I think is a 12-inch diameter. And yeah, you know, this is probably going to start getting boring to watch, but I got to finish the project, right? So I'm just showing you what I did. And finally we get to the little guy. I think this one is a 5-inch diameter. And you can see I had to do the most forming of the plate, right? Because this one had the most curvature. So I did a little bit more, spent a little bit more time bending that plate, making it fit. And I think it never really got perfectly flat, but I got it so close enough that, you know, once the screws are tightened down, it'll be nice and solid on there. So.
All right, so these balls are done. The metal balls are done. I had them painted. I had them professionally painted with powder coat. So they look really nice finish on them, makes them really durable. And, you know, like I said at the beginning, I don't really know how they're going to end up being used, but, you know, they look cool. I can speculate what they're for. You know, I can, you know, I don't know. Something that gets held, pulled, something or other, some kind of weight deal. Anyway, doesn't matter. It was fun to do the project. I'd be curious what you guys think. Which one do you like the best? Do you like the big one? Do you like the small one? What do you think? I kind of have a little thing for this little guy. It looks kind of like a little, one of those like old-fashioned bombs or something. I don't know. Anyway, curious what you all think these are for and which one do you like the best. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you later.